Steelers Nation, buckle up if the rumors circling the NFL grapevine are even half true. We might be witnessing one of the most electric storylines in recent history. Tyreek Hill, the cheetah himself, could be donning the black and gold in the upcoming season. That's right, multiple whispers have started surfacing that the speedster wide receiver may be on his way to the Pittsburgh Steelers. While nothing has been confirmed by the team or Hill's camp, insiders close to the situation suggest that something big is brewing behind closed doors. Could that something be a blockbuster trade involving the Miami Dolphins superstar? Landing in Steel City, fans and analysts alike are going wild imagining what it would be like to see Hill torching secondaries while catching bombs from Russell Wilson. Yeah, you heard me, Russell Wilson to Tyreek Hill might just be the new lethal combo in the AFC North. This is no ordinary speculation either. The timing, the leaks, the odd silence from Miami, everything is pointing to a situation far from ordinary. And if history has taught us anything, when this much smoke hits the air, there's almost always fire. Get ready, Pittsburgh. Something seismic may be on the way. Let's break this down, shall we? First off, why would Tyreek Hill even be available? We're talking about one of the most explosive playmakers the NFL has ever seen. He's not just fast, he's game-breaking fast, but lately there's been some subtle tension in Miami. Despite a strong season last year, there have been rumors of internal clashes, whispers that Hill hasn't been entirely thrilled with the direction of the offense or even with how often he's being used as a decoy instead of the focal point. Add that to some mild speculation about his relationship with head coach Mike McDaniel cooling off, and the puzzle starts taking shape. Hill's contract is massive, and with the Dolphins facing cap constraints while trying to extend to Tagovailoa and bolster their defense, trading Hill could be a strategic but shocking move. It's the kind of decision a franchise makes not because they want to, but because they have to. And if they do, they'd only send him somewhere with cap space, a winnow mentality, and an offense ready to unleash him. Enter the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team quietly building something special, and maybe, just maybe, looking to make the biggest splash of the offseason. Now imagine this for a second: Tyreek Hill, George Pickens, and Pat Freiermuth lining up on the same side of the ball. With Russell Wilson under center and Najee Harris in the backfield, Pittsburgh's offense could go from serviceable to downright terrifying overnight. That's not just wishful thinking, that's a strategic masterstroke. If Omar Khan, the Steelers GM, pulls it off, everyone knows the Steelers have been quietly stockpiling cap space and draft picks. They're not a team that typically chases the spotlight, but when they move smart. And they've been making all the right moves lately, solidifying the Olini, adding depth at receiver, and most importantly locking in a veteran QB who's hungry to prove he still has elite magic in his arm. The addition of Hill wouldn't just be an upgrade, it would be a full-blown transformation. Defenses couldn't stack the box against Harris. Safeties would be forced to play deep, opening up the middle for Pickens and Freiermuth, and Wilson with a cannon and the improvisation skills to match would finally have the perfect deep threat. This could be the Steelers' boldest offensive gamble since the Killer Bees era, and it might just pay off. Of course, the financials have to make sense, and here's where it gets juicy. Tyreek Hill carries a massive cap hit, no doubt about it, but the Steelers are in a surprisingly healthy position. Thanks to some smart restructuring and cap-friendly contracts, Pittsburgh could absorb Hill's number if the deal is structured cleverly. Think Bonashevy renegotiation, or even a slight extension to stretch out his cap hit. Plus, let's not forget that the Steelers are in a winnow window. Wilson isn't a long-term option, he's the now. That means you have maybe 2 or 3 years to push all your chips in and build around him. Hill is 30 but hasn't shown signs of slowing down. He's still torching corners, still drawing double coverage, and still shifting the gravity of every defense he lines up against. If this is about maximizing Wilson's window and unlocking the full potential of Matt Canada's, or maybe Arthur Smith's offensive system, Hill fits like a glove. Don't underestimate how much the Steelers front office wants to get over the hump and return to Super Bowl contention. They've tasted success, and this might be the final ingredient. The fan reaction has been explosive. Social media is lit up with speculation, memes, mock trades, you name it. Steelers Twitter is going through the roof, with some fans already photoshopping Hill in a Steelers jersey. Even some former players are chiming and hinting that this might be more than just a rumor. While no official statement has been released, certain verified accounts and beat reporters with close ties to the team have started dropping cryptic messages. Things like, watch Pittsburgh in the next few days, or an elite W, or could be heading north. Coincidence maybe, but in today's NFL news, leaks happen in whispers long before they become headlines. That's how big moves get telegraphed. And let's face it, this would be the biggest move the Steelers have made. Since trading up for Devin Bush, or perhaps bigger, the city is buzzing. Sports talk radio is on fire, and if even a fraction of these reports turn out to be true, the Steelers could soon boast one of the most dangerous offenses in the entire AFC. Let's talk legacy for a moment. Tyreek Hill has already cemented his place as one of the most electrifying receivers of his generation, but he's always been part of a fast, flashy system, first with Mahomes in Kansas City, then with the ultra-speedy Dolphins. What he hasn't done yet is redefine an offense single-handedly. In Pittsburgh, he wouldn't just be a star, he'd be the star. He'd walk into a legacy franchise known for its grit, its toughness, its deep football tradition, and he'd instantly be the centerpiece of an offense that hasn't seen a true WR1 of his caliber since Antonio Brown. That kind of opportunity can be legacy-defining. Imagine Hill leading the Steelers back to the playoffs, electrifying Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium with 70-yard touchdowns, and putting fear back into the hearts of AFC North defenses. Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, none of them have cornerbacks who can truly run with Hill. The Steelers wouldn't just be adding a receiver. They'd be rewriting the identity of their team, and that's something Hill might actually want. For a player with his mindset, that challenge might be tempting to ignore. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Of course, there's always a risk. Chemistry is never guaranteed. Hill has a big personality. The Steelers have a strong locker room culture, but they've also had their share of drama over the years. Would Hill mesh with Mike Tomlin? Would he embrace the grind-it-out mentality of Pittsburgh football? Would he accept fewer targets if the game plan demanded it? These are fair questions. But here's the thing, Tomlin is that kind of coach. He gets the best out of stars. He kept Antonio Brown productive longer than anyone thought possible. He managed Le'Veon Bell during his prime. He's respected across the league not just for winning, but for his ability to connect. If anyone can harness Hill's fiery energy and turn it into championship fuel, it's Mike Tomlin. And Hill, he knows time is ticking. He's got maybe 3 elite years left. Wouldn't he want to spend them chasing a Lombardi in a football-crazed city that lives and breathes this game? If the personalities align, and everything suggests they could, then this match might be more natural than anyone realizes. From a competitive standpoint, the AFC North is brutal. Every team has a Pro Bowl-level quarterback, a fierce defense, and playoff ambitions. The margin for error is razor thin. The Steelers know this. They also know they've been just good enough to compete, but not great enough to dominate. That's why a move like this makes so much sense. Tyreek Hill isn't just an upgrade, he's a separator. He's the kind of player who forces defensive coordinators to change their entire game plan. Imagine him pulling double coverage while Pickens eats underneath routes, or vice versa. Imagine Harris facing 6-man boxes instead of 8. Hill gives you options. He makes the whole offense more dynamic, more dangerous. And in a division where every yard matters, where every possession could be the difference between first place and missing the playoffs, having that edge might be exactly what Pittsburgh needs. This isn't just about flash, it's about winning. And the Steelers seem poised to make the kind of move that says loud and clear, we're not here to rebuild, we're here to win now. Let's not forget the ripple effect this would cause around the league. If Tyreek Hill lands in Pittsburgh, it shifts power in the AFC. Suddenly the Steelers become not just playoff contenders, but legitimate Super Bowl threats. It forces teams like Baltimore and Buffalo to rethink their secondary. It pressures Miami to explain why they let one of the league's top weapons go. And it forces the Chiefs to watch as a former hero potentially torches them in the postseason. Hill's presence in Pittsburgh would send a message. The Steelers aren't just trying to hang around the wild card picture, they're aiming higher. And you better believe the league would take notice. National media would explode. Primetime games guaranteed.